Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montes and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic. Welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another MCU ranking because with the release of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we have now completed the Guardians franchise. And that means today I'm going to stop and rank all 5 MCU projects of the Guardians of the Galaxy things in the MCU from Guardians 1, plus the little show with I Am Groot, plus the specials and the movies. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, while this movie is in last place, I would still say it's pretty good. You know, I would say the best thing about this movie, like I said in my tier list just a couple minutes ago when I posted it, or a few hours ago as you're seeing this now, I really enjoyed all of the characters' moments, all of the humor, all of the music choices. It really just puts out entertainment. But really more importantly, I love the character arc between Yondu and Rocket as they have those moments together. And even in the scene with Yondu where he just goes for it and kills all the Ravagers that he has left, it is absolutely amazing. But even other than that, like all the music choices, Mr. Blue Sky, this was my introduction to that song. All that was great. And then even the other character moments, with Drax being funny as hell, with Mantis. I thought Mantis was a pretty good addition. I like the little relationship that Gamora and Nebula had. The fact that Peter Quill, now as a dad, realizes he's bad, but then realizes Yondu was the better dad. Kind of structure a little bit weird. It kind of has too many villains. It kind of has a little bit of a story issues, a little bit. But at the same time, I still thought it was really good. But the story issues is what really brought it down. So it comes in last place for me, but it's still good. Now, this was one that I actually had no idea how they were going to do it. Because you're doing a Christmas special of Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardians of the Galaxy don't celebrate Christmas. They're humans. Even though they have Chris Pratt, they have Star-Lord for that to know about it, they're not going to know about what Christmas is. So how are they going to do it? And I actually thought they found a unique way to do it, where Mantis and Drax go down to Earth to get Kevin Bacon as a Christmas present. And what was cool about this is we get the interactions between them, but we also get the reveal that Mantis was Star-Lord's sister. Pretty cool. And it even leads into into Guardians 3 a little bit. And even in the relationship they have, the humor is much better. The interactions and stuff that they would do on Earth is great. The comedy is great. The little interactions, the fact that the Nowhere is now the Guardians base, and really just knowing the true meaning of Christmas, while at the same time having the reveal of Mantis to Star-Lord being his sister went into something very heartwarming. And so for me, it kind of worked. It blended all well together, updating us on where the Guardians are at a little bit, but found something special for the Christmas season. And I just thought it opened up the Christmas season to something fantastic. At the same time, you know, it's only a special. It's only like, what, 40-something minutes of it. So it's not really much to really see. So it's like, I thought Werewolf by Night was better than this just because it had a much darker story. And the action was a lot more better. But this was still a very heartfelt special for the Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that this series of shorts hasn't really had the biggest like fan base in the last couple months, but let's be honest. If you were tired of all these Phase 4 projects with Miss Marvel and Thor: Love and Thunder and She-Hulk, if I'm being honest, if you just want a break from that, watch these 5 episodes of I Am Groot. They're short, they're like 5 minutes long, they're worth your time. They're like 8 minutes long, they're worth your time. Obviously they don't have the big story, but what makes this series of shorts so amazing is that all of them are unique in their own way, but they're also funny and cute and adorable. And it's all because of Baby Groot. And I love seeing more of Baby Groot in this series, and seeing kind of how it takes place in the Guardians timeline, in the MCU timeline between the Guardians films. So it works. So I thought this was a pretty great show. It's adorable, it's likable, and it's heartwarming at the same time. So I loved I Am Groot. So when I first saw this movie, I was just getting ready for action, kind of like Jack Kirby. But as time has passed on, I learned to love movies for story plus action. And with this movie, what this movie does is the way that the story plays out, so great. And it's really a character story, where you have all these different characters coming together as a family as they're all broken. Where Star-Lord loses his mom when he was 8 years old. You have Drax, who got his wife and daughter killed from Ronan. You got Gamora, who was trained to be this assassin from Thanos. You have Rocket, who was experimented on, which we don't get to learn about until Guardians 3. And then also Groot, who sacrifices himself to save his friends. And all of them are unique, likable, funny. They're played by likable actors. They're able to get along with each other. And especially Drax, who is the funny one. And even then, they all play well together. And at the same time, it also gave us a great introduction to the world of space in the MCU, with like Nowhere and Xandar, and even the introduction of the Ravagers with Yondu in them. The villains were ass, I would say that. They're kind of forgettable. And then of course, it obviously has one of the best soundtracks of the last 21st century. Since, I would say, Twilight in this movie, in the Guardians movies, have some of the best sound. I would say the Twilight movies and the Guardians movies have some of the best soundtracks in the last 21st century movies. This movie's great. Okay, so I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, as I was hearing about the reviews before it, because people was able to see it earlier than me because of test screenings and premiere stuff, I was getting a little skeptical as to whether am I gonna like this movie, or am I gonna love this movie, or am I gonna love it but have a lot of issues with it at the same time. And I guess you could say it got me what I expected with the I love it but I have issues. But those issues don't really undermine as to what this film is and how I feel about it. Because if I'm being honest, this is what James Gunn does. And in the last couple weeks, I was watching James Gunn movies with Super and Movie 43. And a lot of that stuff is in this movie. And it's able to balance all the comedy and action and humor. And it kind of balances it, but at the same time, I don't care because it's all funny and it's all great. And even all the character arcs that they did for the characters, especially exploring the backstory of Rocket, which is this depressing stuff and probably the darkest stuff in the MCU, giving us this closure of all the Guardians, having all these great character moments of all the characters, and also giving us a great soundtrack, while this ended up not being as good as the first two ones, still giving us a great soundtrack for this last film. I loved this movie. If you want to go watch my review, go watch it. It's great. You'll hear more about my thoughts on it, but I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And that is my ranking of all the Guardians stuff in the MCU. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff is in the about section over there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.